Hey guys, so today I want to unbox the Framework laptop. This is something we pre-ordered a bit ago, and I'll take you along for the ride. I cracked open the box and was like, okay, that looks pretty darn cool. And I just kind of want to document this. If anyone else is wondering what it's going to be like when they get it, this is what it's going to be like. So I pre-ordered the Framework 13-inch laptop. This is the DIY Intel 13th gen. So I want to give you guys a sneak peek into this unboxing. So in the case, you're going to have a pretty neat package experience here. So start off, you got some documentation up here, it looks like. So we have an iron-on patch. So that's pretty neat. You got some paperwork. Looks like we have a sticker pack for Framework stickers. We've got a fun sticker pack there. And then this is just the legalese that they got to include. Nothing, I don't think there's any directions in here. No, it's just kind of fine print. Aside from that, we've got a pretty neat experience if you're doing the DIY edition at least, because we have a very well packaged system. I love how they did this with the adapters all down here, the power adapter here, and then in here we have the bezel. So this is going to be when we're installing around our screen. So you gotta open that puppy up in a minute. Here's our input cover kit, in other words, the top case for the laptop. So keyboard, trackpad, feels like it's in here, it's pretty heavy. This is the laptop base. So in here, let's see, we got the Framework Laptop 13 DIY Edition, 13th Gen Intel Core i5 1340p. So this is the model we're trying out. And I would expect this to not have anything inside at the moment. So if we look, you can see here's where these adapters go. So you get to custom order your slots. So we have HDMI, 2 USB-Cs, a USB-A, and they actually sent a beta version 2 of HDMI version 2. So we're going to test that out and send some feedback their way. So that was included, and you get to pick which 4 you slide in, which is pretty cool. In the Framework laptop then, let's see what we got inside. So that's kind of what I expected. So we have no bezel on the screen yet. You can see around that because we're going to snap that in. We have a plastic cover covering our laptop. And you can see big battery. There's no SSD currently installed. There's a slot here for something, which I'm not sure yet. I don't see any spots for RAM. Oh, it goes in here. Here's your memory slots. So you can put your RAM in there. So let's check what else came in here. So it looks like this is kind of their toolkit and probably the other parts. Yep, so they give you a pretty cool little combo spudger and Torx bit, and every screw on this laptop, I believe, uses the same bit, which is very cool. So here we have 16 gigs of RAM and our SSD that we ordered with the laptop, so we can install that. So yeah, in general, it's pretty darn slick. I mean, I love the Framework concept. I love that it's open source, that they give you all of the directions. I love that you can update the motherboard. You can swap this out if down the road you say, hey, 13th gen Intel isn't good, I'm gonna go AMD, you know, Ryzen 7 or whatever's gonna come down the road. And you go, great, let's swap out this entire motherboard. It comes out, you put in the new one with the CPU, and everything still works in the chassis. If you need to swap the battery, you can swap the battery. They give you, everything is labeled. All the guides, all the board diagrams, everything is available online. They sell every little part. You want to buy a new Wi-Fi card, you can buy that. You want to go buy new antennas, you can buy those. It's just really well done, and I love that, not only for the sake of the environment and making everything reusable, but or recyclable and all that. Let's see what's in here. But also just the concept of being able to upgrade and not have to rebuy a new chassis or something every time you get a different upgrade to your laptop or you need to update your speed. So this should be the top case. And there it is. So yeah, on here, oops, turn the paper. Also, look at packaging. It's all paper, no plastic, all cardboard and paper. Very easily recycled. So yeah, look at that. We've got all of our screws are that same bit. These are all little, what appear to be Phillips. And this is, so here's the deal. This that they include is Torx on one side and is Phillips on the other. So you have one driver that can handle all the stuff and a spudger included. So yeah, these are on the keyboard. These are Phillips screws, I believe. Yep. Where some of the components do have Torx. So here's that other connector. This is to connect our top case that I saw down here. That makes sense. And then if you flip this over, it looks very much, honestly, like a Mac. The same brushed kind of aluminum. Do have a power button up here. I'm not sure if that's a fingerprint reader as well. I'd have to look into that. But yeah, very cool. And then the bezel, I expect to be just a bezel. But let's take a look. Very lightweight, so I'm assuming this is just a piece of plastic. Look at that detail on the cardboard. It's pretty neat. So yeah, this just appears to be a plastic ring. A little bit of sticky down here. Not sure why that, oh, there's some, yep, these are all sticky so they stick to the screen down here. So yeah, just a bezel. And I believe they even offer different colors of this, which is probably why it's not already assembled, because I believe they offer maybe an orange, if I'm not mistaken. Got the framework logo down there. Honestly, this whole thing is pretty slick. It's very lightweight. I would say very comparable to a MacBook Pro, but honestly more powerful for what we're doing with it. So if you flip this over, you can see there's only a couple of screws. There's one here and then in each corner, and this whole bottom pops off. One of the corners up here, it looks like, so think 5. The whole bottom would pop off. You've got your eject button here for your modules. So if we want to look at those, like I said, they included a, we chose what we're going to get. We chose two USB-Cs and an HDMI. They sent the HDMI version 2 for us to test, and then the USB-A just for some legacy peripherals. So if we're looking at these, I know the HDMI's, I think the one says V2 on it, so this is -2 on this one. And then they sent us a form to fill out some feedback and let them know what we think. So we'll get to that once we start testing stuff. But just pop one of these open and see, they're probably all very similar. So it looks like it just slides out. Here's a little module. And if we wanted to put a USB-C port on this side, I think it just slides in. There it is. And it's locked in. I can't pull it out. So you do have to press this button probably at the same time as pulling to disengage the lock. Yep, there it goes. So I'm gonna put it up here. There it is. Love the flexibility, love the repairability, love the scalability. It's just a great product. This is not sponsored. I am no way in getting paid. In fact, I paid for this laptop, but I'm happy to see it. This is something that we've used Dell and HP and all that in the past, and every time we go to order new gear, the model has slightly changed, the drivers are different, and then we have to make a new image, and it's just kind of a pain. So I love that this is something that is more sustainable, that we can keep the same components and reuse. You don't have to have a new USB-C port every time you get a new laptop, right? Like, let's just reuse the stuff we've got. So very cool. And this was cheaper than the HPs we were buying by about $100. So we're saving money and getting a better experience. So good job, Framework. I hope the use case and using it turns out as good as we're hoping. So yeah, there you go. Almost forgot to check out the power adapter with you guys, so let's do this as well. I believe this is just a standard power adapter. I don't think it's anything crazy. I think it's like a 60 watt maybe. Yeah, looks like its output max is 20 volt, 3 amp, 60 watt. Or maybe a 21 volt, 3.3. Not entirely sure. So, it's a very sturdy box. Like, really sturdy. That's not open there. Ah, this is the way. Okay. Opens this way. Well, I'm glad to see it's not the size of this box. That's mainly power cable. Wow, okay, good to know. And then you have your USB-C connector, which is great. I love this on power cables now because when it starts to break inevitably, you don't have to replace the whole power adapter, you just do the cable. And then in the corner here we have what appears to be the brick, and it is tiny. It is a lot smaller than I thought based on that box size. It is maybe 2 inch by 2 inch. So yeah, that's great. So power cord one side, USB-C on another. There you go, little power adapter. See if you can read that. So there you have it. If this is something you have experience with, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Please let me know if Framework has been good to you, if you've had great customer service. I have, talking with them, it's been good. If you have any advice on what to do with it, then you know, things to avoid, things to order, things to make sure you get in advance. Maybe things that haven't worked so well, like we're trying this HDMI experimental one out, so I'm not sure how that's going to pan out, but let's see. So if you have comments, thoughts, questions, things you want to know, let me know.